One night, Percy was waiting at the junction for the mainline mail train to come. It was late, and Percy began to be impatient. "Where are they?" he huffed crossly. His driver laughed. "Hold your horses," he told him. "I can't wait," peeped Percy. "If we don't get to the next station in time, Tom Tipper may not be there to say hello to me." "Well," said his driver, "Tom has to keep time, and he shouldn't wait to do extra work of helping us load mailbags." Percy groaned. Finally, Douglas pulled in. "Well, bust my buffers, you finally arrived," said Percy crossly. "It wasn't our fault," huffed Douglas. "The ship from the mainland got stuck in a sandbar, and we had to wait for it to get out." Soon enough, the workmen had loaded Percy's mail coaches, and he fumed out of the station. When he arrived at the next station, he could see Tom Tipper's mail van driving away. "Bother," huffed Percy. "We barely missed him. Now we will really have to hurry to make up for lost time, or else Harold will call us slow again." The driver and fireman went to help load the mail bags into the mail coaches. When the bags were loaded, the driver and fireman slammed the doors shut, but the fireman slammed one of the doors too hard and it didn't lock into place. It looked closed, but the door could easily slide open. Percy started and chuffed fast down the track. The track was bumpy, and it felt worse since Percy was going fast trying to make up for lost time. The track Percy was going down was next to a stream. A bump opened the door that hadn't been shut properly, and 2 sacks of letters fell out of the mail coach. It ripped open on its landing, and letters flew everywhere and landed in the stream. Percy hadn't noticed and continued on his way. But when they got to Wellsworth, the driver saw the door open and noticed that the Wellsworth mail bags were missing. They were concerned, but they didn't have time to think about it, so they continued on. Percy kept delivering the mail, and once they finished their route, Percy went back to the shed. "What are we going to do about the missing mail bags?" asked Percy to his driver and fireman. "I don't know what we'll do," replied the driver. "Tom Tipper delivered it, and I remember loading it into the mail coach, but I don't know what happened," said the fireman. Percy still looked worried. "Sleep on it," said the driver. Percy was confused. "How do I sleep on it? It's gone." "Never mind," laughed the driver. That night, Percy didn't sleep well. He kept thinking about the missing mail bags. The next day, Percy told Thomas about the missing mail bags. "Well, that seems very odd," replied Thomas. "When I've pulled the mail train, it's never happened to me. I can't figure out what would have happened." The engine soon went off to their day's work. Percy was still puzzled about the bags and was about to take a train of holidaymakers to Edward Station. As Percy was being coupled to the coaches, the station master called out to Percy's driver to come visit Sir Topham Hatt in his office. Percy was worried. Sir Topham Hatt probably heard about the mail, and now he was going to get into trouble. But surprisingly, when Percy's driver came back, he was smiling. Percy was kind of surprised. "The mail has been found!" exclaimed the driver. Percy was shocked. "What? Where? How?" Percy sputtered. "One of the doors on the mail coaches must have not been closed tightly, and probably opened and the mail bags fell into the stream." Percy looked sad. "Some boys found it at a bend in the stream clumped up in a pile. The parents called Sir Topham Hatt and told him what happened. The mail is still ruined, but now we know to check to make sure the doors are tightly locked." Percy was sad that the mail was ruined, but relieved to find out what had actually happened to the mail. He whistled, "Peep, peep," and set off.
Next time on Thomas and Friends, when Edward tries to prove to Bill and Ben that he is still a young and useful engine, will he go too far? And will Bill have to come to the rescue? Find out next time in Edward's Jammed Brakes.